Hey guys, here's 5 solo play tips on mastering the campaign missions on veteran difficulty. I'll show you what I do to survive the most challenging parts and missions with only bots as allies. You have to get comfortable with blocking to survive on veteran difficulty. However, the block is somewhat generous, and although it won't give you perfect parries, if you mash block, it'll often still block the attack. As you can see here, the block is omnidirectional. I was running away from the Hormigaunt and hit block as he was going to hit me, and I auto-turned and it blocked it. When you block with good timing, you can pull off an immediate counter that can damage the enemy quickly. In this game, you have to get used to the ebb and flow of combat. Sometimes you have to go on the defensive and wait for your chance to counter and then get back into offense. Next is positioning. In order to stay alive, you'll need to use positioning wisely. Hanging back and letting your bots take some of the heat can oftentimes lead to success. The bots have a lot of health and rarely go down on veteran difficulty, so letting them take the brunt of the attack can make a big difference. You'll also want to use cover whenever available to minimize your hitbox. When you have ranged attackers targeting you, you can peek out from behind cover, get some shots off, and jump back behind cover before the enemy projectiles hit you. This will prevent you from taking unnecessary damage and being slowly whittled down. When in melee combat against hordes, you'll want to kite them and try not to get surrounded. Always stay on the move when in melee combat. A huge part of staying alive is performing executions. There are a couple reasons behind this. First, whenever you perform an execution, you'll get some armor back, which prevents you from taking damage to your actual health. Second, you'll become invincible while performing an execution, so you'll be getting one more enemy off the board while not taking any further damage for a brief moment. Usually I like to pan the camera around during the execution to assess my surroundings and see what I need to do next. If you recently lost health, finishers can also restore large amounts of white health on the health bar. Next is dodging. Whenever Titus is in the motion of dodging, he becomes invincible, otherwise known as iframes. This is basically mechanically similar to games like Elden Ring or other Souls-like games. You can take advantage of this by dodging through attacks that would otherwise hit you. Even if you can't move Titus out of the way of the enemy's attack hitbox, as long as you're in the dodge animation, you'll still iframe through the attack and not take any damage. When you're being overwhelmed by enemies, you'll want to be doing a mix of dodging, parrying, and executions to give yourself the maximum uptime on iframes, which will minimize the damage you're potentially taking. It also helps to look carefully around each level because there are heavy weapons like the multi-melta that do some serious damage and can make your life a lot easier. There are also relics that you can find that let you get back up without having a bot need to pick you up if you go down. On that note, keep in mind that you can go down up to 3 times in between each checkpoint, so even if you do go down once or twice, it's not the end of the world. Also, I found that the sniper rifle and las fusel do pretty insane damage pretty quickly, so if you have decent aim, I would definitely pick those up if you find them. On a final note, if you're having trouble with an area, if a run is going badly and you need to restart from a checkpoint, it's faster just to hit pause and just choose the load last checkpoint option. It seems to load a lot more quickly than going through the whole death animation and subsequent loading screens. It can make it a little less painful to have to redo areas if you do it this way. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's my tips on how I beat veteran difficulty solo. Drop a like on the video if you found anything useful. Thanks.